nested loop? Anybody knows what is a nested loop? A loop inside another loop is called a nested one, right? For example, let me take a simple example. For I is equals int I is equals to 1, I less than equal to 5, I plus plus. Then I am taking int j is equals to I, or let me just take it 1 for now. Then I am saying j less than equal to 3, j plus plus. Then I'm saying system dot out dot print value of I plus I, then plus double quotes value of j, then plus j. Okay, or let me just do one thing. Instead of this long message, we will be just showing I is equals to plus I, right? Then there would be another system dot out dot println that will be working for j. J is equals to plus j. Okay, so this is our inner loop, this one, and this is our outer one. Okay, now the thing is how it will work. So to demonstrate this, what I'll do is I'll be using a simple table here. Like, we will keep writing the value of I and j, I, j. Okay, so very first comparison is, so when I is equals to 1, we know this step executes only once, so we can say we have created I which is equals to 1, right? Then we are saying if I is less than equal to 5, that means this is true. We'll go inside what I missed, I have missed something here, which is basically for int j equals to 1, j less than equal to 3, j plus plus. Okay, so we are inside the loop. Now we will do j equals to 1, so j will become 1. Now this has been completed. We'll go here. J less than equal to 3, yes it is. Go inside, print value of I and j. So let me write the output here. I is equals to 1 will be printed, j equals to 1 will be printed. All right. Now we'll go back, we'll do j plus plus. Now j will become 2, right? We'll go back again here. We'll check if 2 is less than or equal to 3. Yes, it is. Go here and print the value of I and j. So I is still 1. So we'll print 1 and j is now 2. We'll be printing 2. Okay, now again we'll go back. We'll do j plus plus. J will become 3. Now we will check if j is less than equal to 3. Yes, it is equal to. Then go inside and print the value of I and j. So I is still 1 and j is now 3. Now After this step, go back again and do j plus plus. J will become 4. Now from this step, when we are coming here, we are doing j, which is 4, is less than equal to 3. That means false. We can say the loop is completed now, right? Following, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
So the inner loop is now completed, but the outer is not yet completed. So we'll go back to the outer loop, right? Now we'll do I plus plus. So when j was 4, then the condition was false, right? Now we are here, j I will become 2 when we will be doing I plus plus. Now we'll go here, right? We'll check if I is less than equal to 5. Yes, it is. So instead of taking 5, let me take a small number so that we can go through it quickly. Or let it be 5 for now. So what we have is 2 in I, which is less than equal to 5. Go inside. Now we are coming here again, but in in the beginning I have said this will be executed only once. Yes, now we are coming again, so that's why we are executing this step. This step will be called reinitialization, because we are coming to this step from the outer loop. If it were like from here to here, then we don't really need to do this step again, but we are coming from outside. That means we need it. So when we say j equal to 1, so j was 4, but it will become 1 because it is getting reinitialized. Make sense, guys? Now check if j is less than equal to 3. Yes, it is. Print the value of I and j. So now I is equals to 2 will be printed and j equals to 1 will be printed, right? Then is inner loop completed yet? No. Okay, go back and do j plus plus. J will become 2, right? Now check if j is less than equal to 3. Yes, it is. Go out inside and print the value of I and j. So I will be printed as 2 and j will be printed as 2. Following, guys? Okay, now go back again, do j plus plus, it will become 3. Now check if 3 is equals to 3. Yes, it is. Print it. I is equals to 2, j is equals to 3. Getting print. All right, then we'll go back again here in inner loop. We'll do 4. When j will become 4, this condition will be false and will come outside the inner loop. And from this step we will be going here in outer loop. We'll do I plus plus. So this will keep going. So I can write like for 3 we will be get 1, 2, 3, 4. Again when it is 4, condition will be false, right? So we can say output would be something like I is equals to 3, j equals to 1. I is equals to 3, j equals to 2. I is equals to 3, j equals to 3. When it is 3, then after it will be the inner loop will be terminated and will go out, and then we will increment I. So for I value 4 we will get 1, 2, 3 and 4. This will be the false condition, right? And the output will be look like I is equals to 4, 4, 4. J is equals to 1, j is equals to 2, j is equals to 3, right? When after this it will become 5, the I value, and the output will be 5, j equals to 1, I is equals to 5, j is equals to 2, I is equals to 5, j is equals to 3. And when it is for inner loop will terminate and will go outside the loop. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. After this step, I will become 6. Now if we go back and check the condition, we are saying here at this point, what we are saying is, if 6 is greater than equal to 5, no, that means the outer loop is completed now. That means rest of the instructions, like there might be instruction here at this point, will be executed. Loop has been finished now. So you got the idea like how it works? Tell me. I will be typing it on Eclipse and will run it very quick. Anybody has any doubt, like, let me know. Ravina, any doubt? Mohammed Danis, any doubt? Baljit, any doubt?
No one.
All right, great. Great, Danish. Ravina, clear, very good. Baljit, what is your opinion? So, we have a class. Let me take a new class. I think I have a test class here. Test 2, which is already having something. This one is also have something. Then let me create a new class. Let me call it test 3, or nested, for example, would be a good name, that you can just understand the concept. Like whenever you look at the name, you will find, okay, this class is for that particular problem. So we'll be renaming it. So we'll do refactor, okay, and then rename. Okay, so there are two things, like let me just do, like, for example, what I'm doing is, to rename it, I can just do, uh, for example, nested, sorry, nested for example, right? I can do like this. Now you can see I'm getting an error, which is basically saying the public class nested for example must be defined, it is on file. Means if you are creating a Java file with other name, I mean your Java file name is different and your class name is different, and then you want to make a class public, you cannot do. Like if I remove public, then it is fine, there is no issue. If you want to keep it public, then you have to rename this class as well, here the Java file name. So it will be like this, then only it can be public. So make a note, in a Java file only one class can be public, and which one, from which we are saving that Java file. For example, if I want to define one more file here, let's say xyz. So you can see it is saying the public class, public type. Okay, it is saying type. What does it mean? Because we haven't studied uh, user defined data type yet. So like integer is a type, float is a type, a class is also a type. That's why it is saying the public type xyz must be defined in its own file. That means you have to create one another Java file, then you can keep it, or just make it a default one, then it is fine. Getting this point, guys? Okay, so I was showing uh, the functionality of refactor in um, Eclipse. So when I say refactor and rename, so what will happen? There might be like other classes as well, which are using this class. So it will be reflected in all the instances. Like wherever we are using this name. So let me just take it nested for EX. So you can see I have just changed name here, and the name here it also get changed, right? Now let me define main method, and we'll be doing for loop. Inside this we will have another loop. So I'll start it from 1, then we will be doing the same thing again, and it will be 3 here as per our example we were doing. Then we will be saying system dot out dot println. So I'm not saying println. What I'm doing is I'm saying I is equals to plus I, sorry, and then plus double quotes, comma, then some space. Okay. Then I'm saying j is equals to, and for this I'm doing println. Okay, now let me just run it quickly and see what is the output. So this is similar to what we were getting. Can you see it? Any doubt in this? Why we are getting 0? Because we have started by 0. Now let me run it again. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Anybody has any concern? Very clear. So whenever we are going to write nested loop, you can see like our inner loop is starting from 1 going till 3. That means 3 step, or it's running 3 time, right? And outer one is running 5 time, like for 1, for 2, for 3, for 4 and 5. So we can say it's running for these numbers, and the inner one is running 1, 2, 3, total 3 time. So total how many times? 15 times, right? And out in this, like we can say these three, and these. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, that is 15. So everyone, I believe, got the idea. Okay, now your task is you will be doing something like this: print 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Question number 1, right? Second, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Something like this. Okay. And one more: 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So you have to build these programs, and this nested loop can help you, or you can use whatever you want, right? And one more thing would be there, like I'm saying there are 5 rows: row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these row basically will be entered by user. Like if I say 4, so I'll get the output till this point. Similarly, if I say 6, so there will be one more added line like this. So your program will ask how many lines you want to print. Okay, all right guys, so this is the question basically for you to complete for tomorrow, these three programs, and one more is there, which is basically
First one
print.
is same as third one. First and third is same.
One second. Yeah, it is same. So sorry. We don't really need to this one because we already have this one. One, two. Another would be like this. This one, quite easy. One more, which will be a bit complex. Let me draw that here. Something like this. Okay.
Yeah,
This
okay.
is also seems easy. Let me take one more. This shape. One, one, two, one, two, three. So after doing these questions, your loop concept will be clear. You can take a screenshot. These are the 5 problems you need to work on. Okay.
I have one question.
Yes, please ask.
Why we used print and in second line we use print ln?
Very good question. Like, for example, I am saying system dot out dot print hello, right? And then I'm saying system dot out dot print ln hi. Okay. So in this case, what will happen? The output would be like hello and hi, because when we say print, it will just say print. So when we say print, so like the cursor is initially here, then here, then here, then here, then after printing this hello, cursor will be here. Like when we type something in notepad or in any code editor, you can see the cursor blinking, right? So cursor is at this point, and when we say print hi, so it will say hi. The cursor is right now here. When it founds ln, that means we need to change the line. So now if I say something else, like we have one more statement, so that will be printed here because the cursor has been shifted to next line. Getting my point? So
Yeah.
whenever you want to change the line after printing something, you should use println. And if you want to keep the cursor in the same line, then you can go with print.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay. So we have covered almost all the things from this chapter. Control statements. Let me know, is there anything else that we have not yet discussed? Okay. So one more thing I'd like to discuss, like we have covered if and else. So we can discuss the ternary operator, which is basically this: some condition, then question mark, true or false. So how it works basically, like for example, I have int I is equals to 10, int I is equals to 10, int j equals to 20. So when I say condition, so that means it should be a boolean expression that evaluates to a boolean, right? So we have I and j. What I'm doing is I'm saying if I is greater than j, print I is greater, else print j is greater. There might be one more case that we are not handling yet. They both might equal, right? So from this point, like from this code, what we will get?
Either I or J.
This is the condition. These are the values. Think about it and let me know one answer. Like both cannot be there. Is I less than j?
Yes.
Yes. Then what we will get? I
I
is
greater
greater,
than.
right?
Greater. Yeah.
If it is 100, then we'll get j is greater.
J is
Sorry,
greater.
sorry.
Actually. I J you should.
100 is less than j. Yeah, then we will be getting the else part. J is greater,
Mm.
which is not true,
Yes.
right? So let me some modification here. Like if I is less than j, so it should be I is smaller. The message was wrong here. And if the other case, if I not less than j, then we can say I is greater. For example, so when we have 120, then what will we will get? Tell me. This is a false condition. So we'll get I is greater. When it was 10, then obviously I is greater. Sorry, I is smaller. So we are making some kind of decision here. Or let me take one more example. In I is equals to 10, in j equals to 20. If I less than j, then k would be equals to, let me take k here, in k we have which is 0 right now. So k value would be equal to I if I is less than, else k value would be equal to j. So from this question, if I say what will be the value of k after executing the execution of this code?
10.
Sorry,
10.
10, because we are saying 10 less than 20, which is true. Then it will execute this part. All right. This is the reason. So this statement can be written something like this. K is equals to I less than j, question mark, I, like when the condition is true, whatever the value in I, keep that value in k. And when it is false, then whatever the value we have in j will be initialized to k variable. So this statement can be written as like this. Let me quickly run it. Okay, I have created one document. So let me just copy this code over there. We'll do that later on because the document is not yet opened. I think Baljit, you have got invited for the document. Rest of the people I'll add and you will get the notification. Int I is equals to 10, int j is equals to 20. Now I'm saying if I less than j, we have another variable int k which is 0 initially. We will be initializing this value based on the condition k is equals to I. We want to keep the smaller value in k, or k will be equal to j. And when I say print k, so we'll get 10. Straightforward, right? And if it is 100, then we will be getting the small value 20 in k. Let me just quickly run it. Right now, a similar thing can be written as like, let me just remove this. K is equals to the condition we were doing in if. Let me keep it here for a moment. So whatever the condition we are having will be written here like k is equals to the condition question mark the true part. So in true part, what we are doing with if, you can see we are doing I, or in else what we are doing is j. Okay, now let me just run this one. We are getting 20. When it is 10, then obviously we will get 10. Make sense, guys? So if I say find a greatest between two numbers in a single line or in a single statement, not line, because when we say semicolon, that means it's a statement. But if I say line, so for example, we were having this code, so you can write it like this and there is no issue. You can, but this is not a good way to write code. Like formatting should be there, but still this is a single line. So this is not the question I'm looking for. I'm looking, you need to find out a way where you can find greatest number between two numbers in a single statement. So using this statement you can do that, and you will see this kind of statement will be used number of time in project. So anybody has any doubt with this ternary operator, or we can move? Let me know quickly.